If you told me that the next Souls-like game I would be playing would be an underwater adventure where you play as a crab, I would honestly not believe you. However, it is 2024 and weirder things have happened. Another Crab's Treasure is a breath of fresh air in the Souls-like genre. It's been years and we've been plagued with gloomy, gothic and gory settings in these games. This is where Another Crab's Treasure stands out, as it is an underwater adventure, bursting with bright colors, not so friendly looking sea creatures and goofy humor. Other than these things, it follows the formula of any Souls-like almost to the T. You play as a hermit crab named Krill, whose shell is taken away from him by a dead collector shark, and it is now your mission to embark on a quest to retrieve said shell and go back to being an ordinary crab. However, as expected, this sends you on a whirlpool into an action-packed adventure in which you befriend multiple sea creatures, battle depression, unlock your true potential, and clean up the ocean, one big polluted boss at a time. Just a big disclaimer before we move on: as much as this is a Souls-like, it is nowhere near as difficult as you would think. It felt lacking in that regard to me, since there's even a so-called easy mode in which you can get a gun, so if the difficulty of this game has been putting you off, now's the time to try it, since it's very user-friendly even for beginner players. There are a lot of things that hardcore Souls-like fans would recognize, like the moon snail shells, which are basically bonfires or graces, losing all of your microplastics on death just like Souls in other games, bosses who can literally kill you in one hit, and of course for the Souls-like veteran players, perfect parrying mechanics. Another Crab's Treasure takes a lot of inspiration from Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, where the combat is precise and efficient and feels like a real underwater duel with sea creatures and not just ragdolls. The addition of the amazingly done shell swapping really puts on a good twist to the game and keeps combat fresh throughout the entire journey. There are a whopping 69 of these unique shells to collect, ranging from the generic soda can all the way to the wacky party hat. There's a shell for every occasion and player that dives into Another Crab's Treasure. The game does a magnificent job at world building. You have lobsters using straws as lances, empty ketchup packets as flags, and my all-time favorite, the samurai crab boss who dual wields chopsticks. With all of that present in the game, it also highlights a lot on pollution by making us experience through our own eyes how much trash truly is at the bottom of the ocean. To me, Another Crab's Treasure suffers from one fatal flaw, and that is its camera. Don't get me wrong, it has bugs and some other wonky bits, but this stood out the most. It actually frustrated me more than dying to silly stuff in the game. The camera can suddenly just shift for no reason and make you move off the map or get hit by an unseen attack. Some cinematic moves can cause complete chaos and make you feel nauseous with the amount of movement the camera does. There's also the bug where you can get stuck in certain terrain and have to restart just to continue, but even that was not as bad as the camera. But again, that's just my personal preference. These issues were pretty common to me on the Xbox Game Pass version, and I'm sure it's not an isolated incident, as I've seen numerous complaints about it on the internet. Even with all of that said, Another Crab's Treasure is a breath of fresh air to the Souls-like genre. It takes a lot from the generic Souls-like formula and puts its own twist on it, so it makes it feel brand new. The story is actually extremely well done, and I can't say much more than I already have without spoiling it. The ending was a bit lackluster for me, but that's totally my own opinion. It suffers from oversimplistic combat and a lack of challenge, but I feel this would only be an issue for die-hard Souls fans. Another Crab's Treasure did keep me captivated for the 15 short hours I spent completing the game and majority of the side quests, including shell collecting, and for that I will give it a solid 7 out of 10. It took a big risk and it paid off. The game is currently free on the Xbox Game Pass, so if you have a subscription, feel free to check it out. As always, I'm Darshin and these were my thoughts.